folks, so today is day 3 using the Tarteist Pro palette. I decided to do a little bit of a prettier makeup, something that is a little bit out of my comfort zone. I did sort of do like a sharp line, which I don't typically do. I also did a nude lip, which I don't typically do as well. So I want to give you guys some different options, even though it's not something that I typically wear. But yeah, if you guys want to know how I did this look, then just stay tuned and here's the tutorial. Okay, so for eyeshadows today, I'm trying to do like a cut line. I never do that, and I realized that like a lot of my eyeshadow looks look the same. So I'm really not that good at doing it on my own without the help of tape or makeup remover or that kind of thing. Working on it, but we're getting there. So today I'm like, we're doing tape, help myself out here. Mostly this top row. In the actual palette, like it's all laid out sort of like you can use these together, you can use these together. And so I wanted to do a look based off of one of the rows. So the colors that I did use today were Classic, I used Innocent, as well as Whimsy. And then instead of using Smoked, I actually went down to the warmer brown down here. I decided that this brown here, Edgy, looked a little bit better with Whimsy. And then I'm using Ethereal as sort of the brown metallic shade on the lid. Okay, so then for brushes, I'm using a couple. So I'm using two kind of 217s just to help blend out the colors in the crease. I'm using a small flat brush for underneath my eye. Just a bigger flat brush for distributing some color on the lid, on the brow bone, and then just like a small stiff brush for using it wet with the metallic shade. Alright, so I'm going to use my bigger fluffy brush. I'm going to go into Classic, sort of like a cream matte shade. This is going to go like above my crease and then all the way up to the brow bone. It also allows the other shades to blend a little bit better just because I don't find that these shades blend the best necessarily. I think I'm actually going to dip into the white. This is Vintage, just to add a little bit more, of a highlight on the brow. Alright, so next up I'm going to take the 217. I'm going to dip into Innocent, into my crease and a little bit above the crease as well. This is going to act sort of as a transition shade. Alright, so the next I'm going into Whimsy. This is the more warm-toned, orangey kind of shade. This is going to go right into the crease. And I find with these shadows, I am getting fallout all over the place, but I find they work better if you work with them in small circular motions. Otherwise, they don't really stick onto the lid very well. If you swipe them back and forth, they sort of just disappear. Also, I don't know if you can see the very obvious gap right there. That's just the eyeshadow not sticking and not blending. It makes it very hard to get like an even coverage. And I did go in with an eyeshadow primer. I just have issues with these matte eyeshadows in general. So it's really hard to get them to stick to where you want them to stick. I don't know. I'm not a fan of them, you guys know this. Day 3 and I'm just kind of disappointed, I guess. So I just applied that sort of as best as I could. It's really not wanting to blend very well. So it's one of those things where I'm just kind of doing the best I can. Alright, so then I'm going to go into Edgy. This is just with the tip of the other 217. And I'm just going to work that right sort of in the outer corner section. Just to kind of darken it up like I did over on this side. Alright, so I mean that doesn't actually look too bad, and I feel like with these shadows like you can place it, but the second you try to blend it is when it doesn't really blend very well. So if you can place it and do like sort of very small movements, I don't know, it's kind of just a pain in the ass to work with. I'm going to move on to the metallic shade, which is Ethereal, and I'm just going to use this little stiff brush. I do have some Fix Plus on it. Really beautiful color when applied wet. So I mean really the metallic shades in this palette are pretty much the selling point. If they had a palette of just these metallics, it would be totally worth it, but these mattes are just not well performing. Anyway, so I'm going to take that on the little brush, and you can see it applies beautifully wet. And then for the outer corner, I'm just kind of taking that and doing it almost as a little bit of a liner, bringing that gold up a little bit. And you can always make it a little bit more intense when you take the tape off, but for now it's just kind of giving us a line. I'm also just taking this and putting it right onto the inner corner. Alright, so then with that applied, I'm just going to take the tape off now, kind of see how that looks. You guys can definitely see the fallout from that. Up next, I'm just going to take a little bit more of that gold and just put that right on that outer part. Then lastly, I'm just going to take that same little brush that I just used. I'm going to go into Innocent, and I'm just going to apply that just right underneath the bottom lashes. This one got a little bit patchy. You can see kind of right in here the color wouldn't stick to the lid. So the dark brown wouldn't really blend out well either. It's not a bad look in terms of concept, and I feel like if I were to use these with better performing matte eyeshadows, this look would be really, really pretty, but it's just not blending very well, that's all. And so I'm actually just going to put on a coat of mascara. Please ignore my eyelashes on this. I'm missing a couple chunks here and there. I mean, overall it's a nice makeup look, but it's just, it would be so much better if the products themselves were better. And then for blush today, I'm gonna do Milani's Luminoso. I wanted to keep with the gold theme on the face. I love this blush, it just gives like a nice warmth. Okay, so then for the lips, I'm thinking of just doing a nude lipstick. Now, I couldn't find the nudes that I was looking for, so I actually whipped out my MAC palette that has all my lipsticks depotted in it. For those of you guys who haven't seen this kind of hides away in my drawer. So yeah, this is kind of just one that I made when I was hoping to do makeup professionally, and then I kind of realized I hate it. So I have this palette that like I never use, so I decided to open it. Now, another thing too, I actually lost a little insert that told me like what lipstick is what, so I kind of don't know what lipstick this is, but it's this nude color. So I decided to do more of a nude lipstick. So this is the finished look. You guys know I never do lip colors like this, but I actually find it really pretty and refreshing to do something different every now and then, and sort of do something that's a little bit out of my comfort zone, because you guys know, like, I'll just throw on like a matte dark brown liquid lipstick. That's pretty much what I wear 80% of the time. So yeah, doing something slightly different is a lot of fun sometimes, and you can realize like, oh yeah, this is what my face looks like. Okay, so then that wraps up day 3 using the Tarteist Pro palette. You guys pretty much know my opinions at this point. The metallics are really good quality, but I'm still having issues working with the matte. So I'm obviously going to continue to use it for the next 2 looks, see what I can get out of it. But overall, so far, I'm really not liking it, and I think that it might actually be one product that I might return. I typically don't return products, but I just don't enjoy this really enough for me to keep it. I have other things that are in my wish list at the moment that I feel like if I return it, I can kind of get those, and I don't know, we'll see how it goes. I just don't like returning things. I'm not that person. Like the last things I returned was like the Kat Von D blush, just because it like that absolutely was like garbage. I just feel like this is not really performing very well, so it might go back, it might not. I have to decide at the end of the week. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this look, and until my next video, I'll talk to all of you soon.